What is going on, guys? Today we are looking at Kramaric, the player of the month for Bundesliga this month, and I really wish it weren't him. He's a good statted striker. There's not really much pace on him, and he's cheap at the very least. At least he is only under 50,000 coins, but in terms of actually going to help the team, I just don't see it. It's a shame as well, because we could have got someone who would have linked with Witsel very, very nicely, but it's unfortunately just not meant to be with him. He's quite a well-statted player, but where it counts, they're just not there. It's great shooting, great dribbling, no pace, a little bit of physicality, and a little bit of passing. For an 86 rated card, he's just not going to improve the team, unfortunately. He's a nice collector's item. I feel like I prefer the red version of the Bundesliga Player of the Month, but I suppose they're going with a different design this month, or this year in fact, and I can get behind it. I feel like it's very plain, but for me I just liked the red. The red worked really well for Bundesliga. He is Hoffenheim, and obviously he is a 4-star. He is 5'10" with a right foot, and his medium work rates. In terms of stats then, we've got 77 pace on the overall, 82 acceleration, 72 sprint speed. That for me as a striker is just not enough. Obviously, the main chemistry star people are going for is a hunter, and not necessarily because he needs the shooting, but he just desperately needs that pace. 92 acceleration, 82 sprint speed is what he ends up with. Obviously, we will cover that in the end review, and he does end up with 95 shooting then, which is absolutely phenomenal. And I'll take nothing away from his shooting. He's one, I always call it like the Berbatov, the Giroud, the Berbatov, the Falcao back in the day. Not quick, not necessarily the most flair player in the world, but can hit a ball like none other. Has great ball control, can get stuck in, but it's mainly what it transfers to FIFA. We see it with David Silva. We see it with, thinking like, it was kind of like a Kevin De Bruyne at one point, and then now he's like just absolutely nuts. There's just no pace in it. Iniesta at the end of his career, phenomenal on the ball, but he just has no pace. And in FIFA, you have no pace. Unfortunately, you're just wiped out of the game. Thomas Muller, another great one who just does not transfer to FIFA at all. So unfortunately, Kramaric is the same. He is cheap, like I say, 184 rated team, one team of the week, one Bundesliga. You can't argue with that, and I think that's, for me, absolutely fine. But it's how it translates to FIFA, and that's always what it's going to be. And I think this month is just not really a go. If you've got spare coins, obviously it's nice to have a collector, but that's just personally my preference on trying to get every SBC. So we're going to go into some gameplay. We'll then talk about the end review and see what he did. So during the games then, I did come up against two very, very good opponents. The second guy was a full French team that we managed to lose against 1-0, but it had Mbappe, Dembele, Varane, the whole works. The French team of dreams, basically, just with no icons. And honestly, it was a very tough match with a striker that just could not seem to finish it. He really struggled to get that goal in, and honestly, I don't know if he ever will. He got there half the time. He managed to get round people, gets the assist, which is always lovely. Jesus sitting on the end of it, but he just could not finish. He was struggling to get round them, and like I said, I did go against Gomez and then Varane. David Luiz was in it, which he managed to kind of make work of, but the keeper then always had it, and I think that's one of the big problems with him. His presence in front of goal isn't good enough. I used Jesus and Rodrigo yesterday, and honestly, they were on form. In terms of Kramaric, he just really wasn't it for me. He really did struggle to get through on goal. Managed to make loads of passing, and he managed to have quite a few shots. He just could not deliver on that final, unfortunately. Good strength. Shooting was okay. I'd say finishing needed a lot of work, but I think, again, it all depends on the moment. Sometimes you can hit every single shot and it goes in. Sometimes you just don't get it. Right here, if I managed to pass a little bit earlier, we could have got the rebound potentially. But unfortunately, that was just reactions from myself and obviously the player as well. In terms of like here, we get the pass across. Great defensive save right there. Dribbling-wise, felt nice. Didn't feel like he could dribble around everybody, but he had that kind of nice touch that just meant that he could be able to get the ball away from his feet quite nicely. And you see there, yes, we didn't get the shot off with his left foot, but nice little drag back, very quick, very sharp. Just not quite Neymar-esque, but decent enough to say that he is a striker. We go for the long ball across here. Unfortunately, just dips right before the end there. And overall, he's a good card. He's just not going to be foot champs worthy, in my personal opinion. So going into the overall of Kramaric, like I say, 50k, as you can see on the screen, 44 for PlayStation, 47, depending on the market, and obviously the time of day. You could wait till 6 PM when Want to Watch 2 is released, and obviously we get a few packs into the store, and I think Team of the Week packs and stuff like that is coming out. I'm unsure about all that content, but I've been hearing that it is. We've got the 4-star, 4-star, 510, medium, 29 years old, and I think that's about it from there, really. There's nothing really we can take from there. Croatian, I suppose. What Croatian players have we got? Suker, a brand new icon into the game, which is coming at a decent price. Nice little stats. Very interesting to see how he goes. Obviously, Modric, Bronzovic as an 84 this year. A very nice card, very big upgrade for him. Kovacic, obviously, and then we've got a couple of informs. Orosic already getting himself his first inform that I think we've actually got untradeable, you know. Rakitic getting a big downgrade, and Perisic. So there is a few players in here that he could link nationality-wise. I don't think any of them were Bundesliga, mainly La Liga, if anything, or Serie A, in fact. So link-wise, we've got obviously the icon, brilliant link there. We've got one inform and then a load of commons, which you're just not going to do. Other than that, you've got the Bundesliga. It's very easy to link in terms of Bundesliga squads. There's quite a few decent ones. We've got a Sane, who I personally was linking him with and really did well with him. Sane is actually a cracking player, but we are going to be looking at his Want to Watch version when it comes out, I think later on today, so hopefully stay tuned for that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. But in terms of chemistry style, as we see down here, Hunter, Catalyst, Hawk, Shadow, it's all pointed towards that pace. This needs a massive upgrade, so I think Hunter would be the only one to go for. He does get an 89.1 rating, so it's a pretty good striker stat card. Obviously the shooting's it's very decent when you put that Hunter on. The pace is doable. I just feel like it's not gonna really make that much of a difference in comparison to him having 85 pace to start with and being able to whack a Hunter on. So there is always that. Dribbling is quite nice. I feel like that is a very good stat right there for him. But then it's kind of like the little bits and bobs around the corner. Like we get a bit of short pass, no long pass whatsoever. Striker, I can let that slide. But we've got 70 strength, 77 aggression. It's on the lower side, especially now we're hitting into the special cards, the player of the months, the informs. I expect a little bit more when I'm paying for an untradeable card. I just personally think he's not going to do what you want in terms of being able to be that consistent in FUT champs, in rivals. He's going to be one that you kind of put in the club and maybe use for icon swaps if you haven't got any other untradeables. That's really all he's going to be good for. But let me know what you do. Are you going to complete this card? And can you complete it with all untradeables? I think I spent 15k on this SBC. Obviously no packs back, but he's not too bad, I suppose. Some good links. Suker as a new icon, which would be really nice. Or Suker, I think it is, as a new icon that you can try him with. That would be very interesting. I'd be definitely up to try a double Croatian partnership up top. I've given him a 6.5 out of 10. Let me know down below if you're going to do him. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'll see you on the next one.